Okay, everyone, welcome back to Breslov Efrat here at Shiva David, Baruch Hashem. Another beautiful day here in Eretz Yisrael. In Efrat, Baruch Hashem, we had a beautiful Neitz Minyan today, Baruch Hashem. And okay, we're going to continue learning these amazing lessons from Rav Nosson and Likutey Halachos, Hilchos Nesiyas Kapayim, the priestly blessings. We're in Halacha Hey, and today we're up to letter Tes, 9. Okay, again, we always learn for the well-being of our chayalim and the chatufim, soldiers and captives, and all of Amcha Beis Yisrael. Please, Hashem, show everyone a lot of mercy, and please rid the world from all our enemies. Rid the world from our enemies. I know, Hashem, it's a big job, because it's just about every one of them out there. But Hashem can do it. No problem. It's no problem. It's no problem.
He always has.
He will. He will. He always is protecting us. Okay, so we're learning these beautiful concepts of all based on lesson 34 in Likutey Moharan, right? And we were learning, the last thing we were talking about is the song, right? That we take song is such an amazing thing that you could take a song and a true song that'll bring you closer to Hashem can actually take two things that are separate, two things that are opposite, and actually bring them together. Right? Like we said, you could take physicality and mend it together with spirituality. You can have that both together. And what do you use to do that? You use song. And that's what we're discussing, the whole idea about Psukei de Zimra, the song of Psukei de Zimra, right? The song of Psukei de Zimra, and then
the seven dwarfs had it right. Whistle while you work.
Okay.
Whatever. Sorry.
Okay. Cute. Cute. Okay. All right. And then we spoke yesterday about Kriyas Yamsuf, right? Oz Yoshim Meishin Meisol, right? The beautiful song, and how HaKadosh Baruch Hu split the water for us, and He made it so comfortable for us and everything. And then we finished off yesterday by saying the same way that with the staff of Moshe Rabbeinu, right? He was able to split the sea, right? So to now today, the kulmas, the pen of the scribe, the sofer, is the same way he's splitting things open and splitting the explosion of Torah through the world today. It's unbelievable how many different things are being written all the time, and it's just remarkable. Again, everyone today can get something on their level, right? That's what we said. That's the most important thing, that Hashem gives the person His light on their level. And that's so beautiful, so that way we can benefit by it. Because if you have the light's too powerful, you can't benefit by it. Okay, now we're talking about words and different things. So now Rav Nosson is going to move on to a new idea now. Based on this idea, is building on it. V'zeh bechinas tevas Noach. This is the idea of the teva of Noach. Well, we were talking about water yesterday, right? The splitting of the sea. Okay, so Noach also had a teva. He had his ark. Right, his ark. V'tevas Moshe, and Moshe Rabbeinu also had an ark, right? He had his little ark that he put him in the basket, his little basket, right?
Yeah.
Moshe Rabbeinu went in the little basket. Sheholchu al pnei hamayim, and they both sailed on the water, right? Both of them sailed on the water. Ki hatevas shel Noach u'Moshe nimshechu mitevas v'oises hadiburim shel Torah. All of that came from the words. The words are so special of the Torah. Because you know that the word teva means an ark, but it also means a word. Teva also means a word. Teva means a word as well. Yeah, it means a word. The teva is also a word. So the ark was going based on the words of the Torah. For example, Noach, when he was alive, right? So then there were the 7 Noahide laws, right? There were those 7 laws. And Noach kept those laws. Noach kept them. He followed the laws because the Torah says he was a tzaddik. He followed those laws. So that was laws with the words of the Torah, okay, that gave him the ability to go into that teva, the words, the Torah, Hashem's words, Torah, teva, and that's why he was able to be saved. So too with Moshe Rabbeinu. We're going to see now. The whole point, why did the Mabul come about? Because there was such immorality in the world. It's scary, right? Because we're coming to that point again today, right? 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 There was such an yes, and our land is filled with Hamas, right?
So we're not building a boat.
Yeah, okay. Hashem didn't say he's going to bring another flood. He said he won't bring another flood. So now that means he's not going to build another boat. Now we have to work on the words, right? To save yourself with the words, right? Teva is an ark, it's a boat, right? And it's also the words. He's going to say, oh, so we said yesterday like this, that Hashem he constricts his light into the fabric of the world. And now via us following what we're supposed to do, we keep Hashem's light contained in everything with the right measure. Oh, but wait a second, when you don't do the right thing, then the light goes out of control. Right? As we keep the light in check and everyone gets what they need when we follow the Torah. But when we don't follow the Torah, then there's upheaval. Right? Look what he says here. They couldn't be constricted into this world. The words of the Torah couldn't be constricted. To keep the world in existence. So you're going to say, they see Rav Nosson is probably thinking, wait a second, the Torah wasn't given yet. But it says that HaKadosh Baruch Hu was Ba'istako Ba'iraisa Uvare Olam, right? Hashem looked in the Torah and he created the world. Now, again, the amount of letters and words that are in the Torah, right? That's Torah, because they're all names of Hashem. But they were reorganized into be the words what they are and the spaces and everything else based on the things that transpired. You follow? In other words, there's a bank. Maybe you can understand like this. Like you ever played the game Scrabble? Yeah. Right? So you have all the letters, right? There's a certain amount of letters that you can use, right? And then you can make all different words and do all different things with it, right? So you're going to say, so the Torah is the same idea. Hashem had all of those words. That was the original Scrabble game. That was Hashem's Scrabble game, right? And then it manifested itself in these words. No, really. I'm trying to give you something the way you understand it.
I'm laughing because my wife loves to play Scrabble, so I got to tell her this.
No, but no. Think about it, right? In other words, they were the letters, and then it manifested itself into the words of the Torah. He's going to explain now.
About like the millions of games of Scrabble played since the game was invented. Probably no two games were the same.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah. That's true.
Right. Everyone has different. The different. Right. Uva borei olam kiyadu, and that's how Hashem created the world. So in other words, let's understand. Hashem used the 10 utterances. We keep studying about them. The malupim, right? The 10 utterances to create the world. So that means everything in the world came about because of those 10 utterances. There was nothing before. It was ayin hamuchla. There was absolutely nothing here, and Hashem made the statements, and via those statements are Torah. That's Torah, right? So those things keep the world going. But if we don't follow the words of the Torah, so then things get unleashed. Things get unleashed. Okay, the vigam kvar nitztavnu b'sheva mitzvahs, because the world at that time was commanded in the 7 Noahide laws, right? The world had those 7 laws, right? You can't steal, you can't this, you can't, right? You can't. The 7 Noahide laws, you can't. They had to follow them then. And that's how the world stayed in existence at that time. So if everything was nice, everything, if the way we would have kept it, everything would have been great. Everything would have been in order. Everything would have been fine. But the fact that they didn't keep those laws, the light wasn't contained. The light became too powerful. It wasn't in the right measure, and it caused the flood. He's going to explain now. The Haim Avru Aleim. They transgressed on them. Right? They transgressed on the 7 laws. Also, now the water, Hashem, remember, he receded, the whole world was water, right? And then Hashem made the division. And that's how the continents came about, and everything came about by Hashem receding back the water. It was all water. He took the water back, and he made, this is dry land, and this is water. The most amazing thing I love to watch is, if you ever go to a beach, right? Just watch how that wave, no matter how big that wave is, it'll always stop at that same point. It's fascinating to watch. You see a big wave coming in, but it breaks right there. It doesn't flood everything. They're so powerful, right? The waves are so powerful. Why don't they just keep going? That's Hashem made. This is land, and that's the water. You can only go till there. It's fascinating. But what happens, that's when you're following the Torah. But the problem is when you don't follow the Torah, so then that's when we have those tsunamis, and then we have all of these upheavals in the world, because again, we're not following what we're supposed to do. Hurricane, yeah, all of that, right, that's right. It's not the way it's supposed to be.
Climate control.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Umisham niftechu kol mayonais tahaim. And now all of those springs underneath, all the places that Hashem had them stopped up, everything was contained. And now he pulled out all the stuff, and everything came out. Mayones tahaim rabba ad sheba mabel, until the mabel came. So there was water coming from underneath, there was water coming from the top. It was raining, and there was also water coming from underneath. It was something amazing, okay? V'noach haya tzaddik nitzal ayadei hateva. Oh, but Noach was the tzaddik, and now we understand it. He was the tzaddik, and he was saved by the teva. Because again, the teva, the words, he goes into the teva. Shenimshecha meitevas adibur mamish hainu ayadei oisis hatevas haTorah, right? Shezocha lekayim, right? Because he was able to merit to keep the words of the Torah, right? The words of the commandments, the 7 Noahide laws. So that's how he was able to be saved. Therefore, he was able to enter into the words. It's so beautiful, because what Rab Nosson keeps trying to teach us, that we're supposed to enter the words that we speak into our hearts, right? We're supposed to say words, and we're supposed to write them, right? Write those words on the luach of your heart. Help the words affect us. Noach was able to follow the Torah. He was able to go into the teva. You understand? He was able to go into the words. He went into his words. You see that? And therefore the teva had the ability to float nicely on the water, because it was the Torah, and that was the way HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the light of Hashem was all contained there. In the light, and well, you could see all the miracles that happened. They had all those animals in the teva. Could you imagine? Yanav, you were telling me you had just 2 dogs in your house, right? Could you imagine all the animals he had in that little box? Yeah. I mean, it was not that big, considering all of the animals he had. Right? He had 7 of every kosher species and 2 of every non-kosher. And there's a lot of different kind of animals out there. Birds, insects. He had everything in this teva. Could you imagine? You ever think of that? No. When you go back home now, think about that. It's a good thing to think about, right? Right? It had everything in that teva. And it worked. Somehow it worked. Unbelievable. And through that, he was saved, his children were saved, and the world was saved. right? We're all the descendants. We're all descendants from Noah because he was. We all came from Adam Rishon and Chava, but then everyone got destroyed except for Noah, and then everyone that's here today, we're descendants of Noah. Okay. V'zeh gam came bechinas tevas Moshe. This is the same idea that we had the teva of Moshe Rabbeinu, the teva of Moshe Rabbeinu. That when Miriam came up with the idea that we have to save my little brother, right? So she came up with the idea. She'll make a little teva. She'll make a little basket. I guess it was like we'll call it a teva, but it was a basket. It was some type of a basket, right? Like a sal, some kind of a basket that she coated it with tar. She made it soft inside, and she put Moshe Rabbeinu inside this little basket. Okay, Shenitzal beteva al pnei hamayim. Moshe Rabbeinu was also saved, right? He was also saved because otherwise the Egyptians would have came in and they would have put him chas v'sholom into the wall. Right, and what they did, they drowned Chas v'Shalom, drowned him. But he was saved. Moshe Rabbeinu was saved in the little teva. Machma shehaya osid lekabel es haTorah sheheim mitzamtzem meimei hayam hagadol. Because Moshe Rabbeinu was going to be the one that was going to take us out of Mitzrayim, and Moshe Rabbeinu was the one that was going to cause the miracle of splitting of the sea. So again, Moshe Rabbeinu was the one that was saved. He was saved because of that, because of what he was going to be, who he was going to become. Rak lo yizocha al yedei hateva sheim bechinas oisei haTorah ki im lahatzelas atzmai v'zaroi v'kiyam ha'olam aval Moshe hitzel es Yisrael. See, Noach, he was only able to save himself, his family, the animals, but he wasn't able to save everybody. He didn't work on saving. He didn't believe he could save everybody. That's a whole lesson for by itself. Why did Noah believe he could do that? That's a whole other lesson. But at the end of the day, he saved himself. He saved his family. Where Moshe Rabbeinu was also in the teva, but he saves Klal Yisrael. He saves all of Israel. Umasa oises v'hateva is haTorah l'chol Yisrael l'doros olam. And Moshe Rabbeinu gives over the Torah for all eternity to the Jewish people. The words of the Torah, because he was saved in the Teva. He was saved in his Teva, the words, and Moshe Rabbeinu gives over the words of the Torah constantly to Klal Yisrael. Nimsa, shepsuke de zimra v'shira sayam, heim kineged chibor aseres hadibros im haluchos. Right, that's the idea of to bind the aseres hadibros with the luchos. Right, what were the luchos? It had inscribed on the luchos the 10 commandments, right? Hashem said the 10 commandments words that were then inscribed, carved onto the luchos. They were the same idea. That's what we daven. Psukkah de Zimra, we're supposed to get those words into our hearts to affect ourselves, so we can have that feeling. To have that feeling to be closeness to Hashem. Meluchas sheheim bechinas melupim. That's the idea of this melupim, right? Reb Nosson is going to. He always he has so many lessons on this. It's unbelievable. The line and the dot, the vowel, the melupim, right? That vowel, line and the dot. It's all based on Rabbi Nachman's Torah in lesson 34. So it's not Reb Nosson's idea. He's using the lesson. It's a wonderful, wonderful lesson. If you really want to understand how davening can affect you, how you can say words, and the words can affect your heart. Really, to affect your heart, to make you feel closer to Hashem. It's so beautiful. We really could do that. We could really do that when we say the words, to listen to what we're saying and place those words into our hearts. So it's a long trip. It's from the heart, from the mind to the heart. It doesn't seem so far. It's far.
You can slide into it when you wear your tefillin.
You can, yes.
How is this tied into the priestly blessings? Sometimes I'm not connecting with how this is in the part of the priestly.
Oh, okay.
Blessing.
The Kohen, our Kohen, right, is saying the words, right?
Right.
I want those words to get into my heart. I want those words to affect me. You say, B'ahava, right? You bless us with love. I want to have the right love. Remember we learned about that, right? It's good that you brought this up. I want to have the right love. I don't want to have the wrongful love. I don't want to have misplaced love. I want to love what I'm supposed to love. I'm supposed to love Hashem, the Torah. I'm supposed to love the Jewish people, Eretz Yisrael. These are the things I'm supposed to put things into perspective. To help us put things into perspective. That's what the priestly blessing is doing. And then you bless us to have peace. Right? You end off, the last word is with peace. What's peace? We should have peace in our heart. And we said that the heart should be, the Yetzer Hara eventually will work together with the Yetzer Tov. The Yetzer Hara together with the Yetzer Tov. Remember we learned in the last lesson, based on lesson 22, we had the example of the horse and the rider. Right? The horse and the rider, right? The Yetzer Hara is the horse, right? The guf is the horse, and the rider is the neshama, right? We want the rider always to be able to control the horse. If the horse controls the rider, that's not good, right? That's not a good thing. That's not a good thing at all, right? You can see when people walk their dogs also, right? Sometimes the dog is walking the master. You ever see that? Right, the dog is walking, he's pulling the master. No, wait, hold on a second. No, the dog is supposed to walk slightly behind the person, follow you. He's supposed to work with you. You have to. There's always a pattern, and that's what we're learning over here. You have to keep control. How do you get the neshama to be more powerful? Through the Birchas Kahanim, right? The Kohen blessed me, so I know what my neshama is. It becomes more powerful. He becomes more powerful because he understands that I need to love the right things. How am I going to love the right things? Because I let it affect my heart. I let it get into my heart. It's such an amazing concept here. And this is really what it's all about, right? Okay? So this is what we learned, the new idea today. We learned about the words, teva, right? Teva, words. Right? Teva is an ark, and it also means the words. So we can always save ourselves with this. We learned this concept also when it comes to Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. 6 words, 6 tevos, right? 6 words, right? 6 tevos. A person can save themselves with the Shema Yisrael, right? That's why there were 6 cities of refuge, right? Because of the 6 cities of refuge came from the 6 words of Shema. Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. 6 words, 6 cities of refuge. We can always take refuge in the words. Isn't that nice? Take refuge in the words. Okay, let's go on to Yud. Okay, oh, this is beautiful. Here we go. So 10. Okay, everyone have the place? We're still good? Okay. And after we do, we say Oz Yashir, right? So then we say, what do? We say Kriya Shema Birchaseh, the blessings of Kriya Shema. Right? We have the blessings. Yotzer Vorech Choshech, Oiseh Shalom Vorech Hakol. We have Yotzer Oros, right? Aboch B'Amei Yisrael B'Ahava, right? The 3 blessings. We have the 3 blessings, right? We have the 3 blessings. Okay. Shem Birchas HaMa'oros, which is Yotzer, right? In Yotzer Or, VaTorah, which is Ahavas Olam, right? We're blessing. We said that the Birchas HaTorah can be a person can be not the word if he wasn't sure if he said Birchas HaTorah, right? In the Ahavas Olam, he can accomplish his obligation of Birchas HaTorah, blessing of the Torah, with the Ahavas Olam. Isn't that nice? It's a very nice thing, right? V'Goal Yisrael, and then we have the bracha of Goal Yisrael right after, right? Goal Yisrael, right? Hashem is Goal. What does that have to do with that? V'zeh bechinas nekudas hamalupim shenasa yedei tzaddik im Yisrael. And he's going to explain now. This is the idea of the tzaddik and Klal Yisrael, right? The tzaddik is the one giving over the teachings. Klal Yisrael, we're like the vav, we're accepting, right? We're accepting. The tzaddik is like the dot. He's the yud and so on. He's going to explain now. The main nekuda, who at tzaddik, shu nekudas klolius. The main nekuda is the tzaddikim, right? The tzaddik, he's the nekuda klolius. We all connect. He's the one in the center, and we all try to connect to the tzaddikim. That's what we all try to do. Everyone has different. They connect to different tzaddikim, but everyone always want to connect ourselves to the tzaddik. He's the one in the middle. Shezeu bechinas kriya shema b'chesel. Ki kriya shema shehi kabbalas achdusa yizbarach. The idea of Shema is accepting the oneness, the unity of Hashem. Right, that's what Kriya Shema is, right? We say Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad, the unity of Hashem. Right? Ze ikar or hanekuda kedosha ki ikar hanekuda teva hu lichlo. Ba'achdusa yizbarach shemisham nimshocha hanekuda teva. Because that's where the nekuda tova comes from. When you come with Hashem. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the ultimate goodness in the world. He's ultimate goodness. So I want to connect myself to that nekuda of Hashem. In the Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad, the unity of Hashem, and then I can connect myself to all the goodness. Ki hanekuda bechinas tzadik hua achdus haposhet ima Yisrael. The achdus haposhet, the simple unity. Achdus haposhet is the simple unity, right? The unity of Hashem, in which the tzaddikim are there to help us, bring us closer to Hashem. Isn't that what the tzaddikim do? They give us the teachings to teach us how to get closer to Hashem. And this is the blessing that we make on the luminaries. Right? We make the blessing on the luminaries. Ki ha'or shel kol ha'ma'oros. All of these, the light that comes from all the lumina, the sun and the moon, and all the stars and everything else that's out there that's giving off light. Nimshachem min nikudas hatzadik. All come, draw from the idea of the tzaddik, from the point of the tzaddik. Shenikra or. The tzaddikim are called light. The tzaddikim are called light because the tzaddikim, anytime you bring yourself closer to Hashem, you do something to get closer to Hashem, that's light. Right? We said that HaKadosh Baruch Hu's words, His Torah is all the light. So of course the tzaddikim are the light because they're teaching over the Torah. Kamay shekosav or zarua la tzaddik. Or zarua la tzaddik. What does that mean? The light of the tzaddik, what does zarua mean? It shines, right? It shines. The light of the tzaddik shines, and that's what we say. When do we say Or zarua la tzaddik? But before Yom Kippur, right? When we're bringing Yom Kippur in. But we take out the Torah, we say, Oh, zarua la tzaddik, ali yishrei leiv simcha. Right? Oh, zarua la tzaddik, ali yishrei leiv simcha. Remember those words? It's coming up very soon. It's in about 50 days. It's not that far. It seems so far, right? But it's not that far. Yeah. Yeah. Umimenu nimshach kol haTorah. From there comes all of the Torah. All of the Torah comes shu bechinas birchas ahavas olam. When we say the bracha of ahavas olam, zeh bechinas birchas goal Yisrael, and this is the blessing that we say of goal Yisrael, the geula. Right? We always want to bring. The Chazal tell us that we have to be saymich geula letfilah. Right? You know that idea. You have to bring geula. You have to be very close to the tefillah. How do you samech geula tefillah? When we say Goal Yisrael, we say right away Hashem sefasai tiftach ufi yagid tila secha, and then we say Baruch Atah Hashem, and we go into Shmon Esrei. Right? You know that? Right? You're not allowed to have a hefsek. Yeah. You're not allowed to have a break. You're not allowed to answer a message. You can't say anything to anyone. You have to be samech geula letefillah. Geula letefillah. Okay, Goal Yisrael. Ki geula zeh bechinas hatzadik yadua shenikra goyal. The tzaddikim are called the ones that are redeemers. The tzaddikim redeem us, right? Because again, when a person is stuck in his sin and he has no way to get closer to Hashem, and then he finds the tzaddik, and the tzaddik gives him over the teachings, and he brings him closer to Hashem. So that's a redemption for that person, right? The tzaddik is called a goyal. Right? He's a redeemer. What does that mean? Oh, look at this. Bayaz verus. Okay, we just said now about the goyal, right? So we're waiting for Mashiach Tzidkenu to come. Where does Mashiach Tzidkenu come from? Boaz and Rus. Right? That union that there was between Boaz and Rus. Rus is the tefillah. Boaz is the tzaddik. We're going to see in a second. Okay? You have to bring them together. Ki Boaz shu tzaddik hu bechinas geula. Boaz is the tzaddik. Boaz was the gadol ador at that time. right? He was the leading Torah scholar at the time, at that time, Boaz. Okay, so we said that tzaddik is the Goel, and of course Boaz at that time was the tzaddik, so of course he was the one, and it's very befitting because he was the grandfather of David HaMelech, right? He was the great-grandfather of David HaMelech, right? Boaz, right? And where does the Redeemer come? Is David HaMelech, his offspring. Okay. And David HaMelech was involved in bringing us Shira, right? Song. Right? David HaMelech brought us all the song, the Sefer Tehillim. Right? And the Sefer Tehillim is how we can bring our Geula. We can have it because it all comes from David HaMelech. Okay? All right, so now let's see Yud Aleph. Okay, Tefillah. Okay, now we're going to go to the Tefillah of the Amidah, the Shmon Esrei. Hachakach. Mispalin Iker HaTefillah. We daven the main point of the Tefillah, Shu Tefillah Shmon Esrei. So we get all of these things that we spoke about before. It's just to prepare us to get to the Shmon Esrei. Isn't that amazing? That's the finale, right? You're doing everything. You're doing all these preparations, right? Like we start. Let's one more time. We'll go over it again. You start out in the morning and you say the brachot, right? And then you say the karbanos and you say ketoras. And then you're fixing this world, the olam asiyah, right? You're bringing the Hashem's Torah. You're separating the good from the bad. You're letting the Torah take effect today in the world. And then you go to the next world with Psukei de Zimra. You go up to the world of Yetzirah, right? You go up to the next world. And then that song, you let the song affect those words to come out of your mouth. You listen to those words and let those words into the heart to affect you. To what? To bring you then to the blessings of Yotzer HaMa'oros, right? To remind us that Hashem, there's nature in the world. But who runs the nature? It's all Hashem running the nature. There's no nature by itself. Hashem controls the nature. Hashem controls everything. It doesn't happen by itself. The world wants us to believe that everything happens Mother Nature. Okay, yeah, there's Mother Nature, but who's running Mother Nature? It's Hashem. So when we say Yotzei HaMa'oros, we're reminding ourselves, or else why do you have to say that bracha? Why are we saying Yotzei HaMa'oros? Okay, so Hashem made the luminaries. Okay, Shkoyah. Why do we have to say, every day Hashem makes it again? Because every day it's a new. Like we say, Hamachadesh betuvai b'chol yom tamid maseh bereshis, right? Every single day is a new day. It's a brand new day. So every day we make that statement that we realize, wait a second, Hashem, you're sending out the sun today. You sent out the sun today. It didn't come out by itself, right? It didn't come out by itself. We remind ourselves that it's all Hashem because the world doesn't want to let us believe that. The world wants us to believe that things happen on their own. No, we remind ourselves every time. No. How do I remind myself? Because I already got those words of Psukei de Zimra in my heart. And I'm connected to Hashem. And now I further make the statement, Hashem, you're the one that makes all nature, and you control everything that's going on in this world. And then we could say Ahavas Olam, right? And we make that commitment again for Torah, right? And then we say Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. That unity, we get that unity back with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, right? We feel that unity to the oneness of Hashem, connecting to the tzaddikim, like what we just learned over here, right? All these things that we learned to get to Go'al Yisrael. To get to the Go'al Yisrael, I want to get to the redeem. I want that redemption. We want redemption. Redemption has to be connected with tefillah. How do I get redemption? I get redemption when I connect to Hashem. And I free myself. I free myself from all the stuff that's holding me back. I can be redeemed, right? And so long as the Yetzer Hara is controlling the person, he's enslaved, right? But when a person can take control of the Yetzer Hara, then the person is free. He can free himself. Isn't that nice, right? Why do we have to be enslaved to the Yetzer Hara? We don't have to be. We're supposed to work with the Yetzer Tov. The Yetzer Tov is on the Neshama. We want the Neshama to affect the Yetzer Hara and let the Yetzer Hara work with the Neshama to help the Neshama. That's how it's supposed to be. He was just saying the story with the exchanged children. That's the story of the exchanged children, right? Right? The impostor. The impostor took over and he was the king, right? He became the king. And the real prince the real prince, he treated terribly. That's us. That's the neshama, and that's the Yetzer Hara, right? Sometimes the Yetzer Hara wants to be the king. He wants to rule. Then he's not very nice to the Yetzer Tov, right? But when the Yetzer Tov is strong, he can then work with the Yetzer Hara and make the Yetzer Hara do what it's supposed to do, and then he can work together with the Yetzer Tov, and then you have that harmony, and that's hence the blessing that the Kohen is giving us. Shalom, you should have peace in the heart. That the Yetzer Hara should work together with the Yetzer Tov to bring me closer to Hashem, because that's really what's supposed to happen. Okay, that's the Tefillah Shmona Esrei. Avoda Shebelev. Chazal tell us that what? Shmona Esrei is Avoda Shebelev. Tefillah is the service of the heart. What does the heart have to do with it? Don't we know now? It's all about the heart. It's all about getting it into. Why is Shmona Esrei? Chazal tell us Shmona Esrei is Avoda Shebelev. Why is it Avoda? Because the whole idea is the heart, to have that feeling. So we just learned how you get the words in the heart to have the feeling. That's why now we understand. No one will. You can ask people. I'm telling you, go ask people today. Why is tefillah called avodah shebaleh? They'll say, I don't know. That's what they say, but they can't explain it. Rav Nosson explained it to us real good. Why it's an avodah shebaleh? Because I got to get it into my heart. I have to have my heart to have the feelings of the heart to be connected to Hashem. That's what it's all about. Shezeo bechinas nekuda hamelupim. And that's what we have to do ourselves, that melupim, that vowel. It's us ourselves. What? The words we say gets inscribed on the heart. The words we say inscribed on the heart. So we have our own melupim. Isn't that nice? We learned about the general melupim, right? What's the general melupim, right? We said that the world was created in 6 days. Remember that? The world of Vav, it's like a Vav. The world was created in 6 days by the 10 utterances, right? That's the dot, and that's the what do you call it? The 6. Then the Luchos we said is the 6 is 6 by 6. The Luchos was 6 by 6, and Hashem's Aseres Adibros were inscribed on that. That's the Malupim. Now we learn it's more personal. When you say your words, they should be inscribed on the luach of your heart. On your own tablet, in your own heart. You understand? In your own heart.
Does that then allow us to speak from the heart?
Yes.
And there's a reason.
Feeling from the heart. Yes. And then the words can go out. Yes. The words can come from the heart. Yes. Ayedei shemechaber bechinas pi yedaber chachmos. Pi yedaber chachmos. The mouth can speak chachma. What does that mean? Lebechinas v'hagus libi tevunos. My heart can sense, discern, can feel your can feel Hashem tevuna. The Hashem. How would you translate tevuna? Shalom. I always have trouble. I know the word, but it's hard to come up with a discernment, understand.
Rectification.
Oh, wow, Shalmas. Okay. Okay. All right. Jan, if you have any translation for tfunot? No?
Is it rectified? Is that the word you're using here?
Well, what's the shorish of the word tevuna?
Say.
Bina.
Huh?
Like deep understanding.
Bina, understand, discernment, right? Discernment.
Tevuna.
That the heart... V'hagos libi, no, stop. V'hagos libi tevunos. Okay, the hainu. Ayedei shemedaber diburei hatfila bekavana. All by saying the words of your davening with kavana. What is kavana? We learned. What is kavana? They tell you have to daven with kavana. Listen to the words you're saying. That's kavana. That is Mordechai, please.
Okay.
That is kavanah. Listen to the words of tefillah. Listen to what you're saying. Listen to your own words. Come on, is that beautiful? Listen to what you're saying. Don't listen to what your neighbor's saying. Listen to what you're saying. Diburei atfila bekavana gedoyla umechavein liba yeheter. And get your heart involved with this. Lemasha oimer. What you're saying, you hear those? Isn't this beautiful, Yanif? Isn't this beautiful? You're saying the words. Let those words that you're saying enter you. Let them affect you. Your own words. Ad shemekasha dibur piv el halei. So I can take the words of my heart, of my mouth, and I can connect them to the heart. And that's how I can illuminate. I can illuminate the nakuda. That dot. What is the dot? The words. The words of the dot. El halev, to the heart. Through that we could fix everything. Everything that's going wrong in our life can get fixed. Because we have all that turmoil, we have all the anxiety, everything that's in the life. People have today more anxiety than ever before. Right? People have more conveniences today than they ever had in the history of the world. True? We have more conveniences today than ever in the world. We have more food today than the world probably ever has seen. Right? There was more food in the world today, more of everything. Everyone has water. It's amazing. It's amazing. But yet everyone has so much anxiety. Why? Because there's turmoil in the heart. There's that turmoil in the heart. There's a fight going on all the time. And they don't know, should I do this, that, this, and they're all worried. Everyone's worried about everything. But when you can get those words of your tefillah that come into the heart, you put out all that fight. And that's why the Kohen keeps telling us, Shalom, I need to have peace in the heart. That's the antidote against the anxiety.
Heart attacks and strokes were rare 100 years ago, 150 years ago. They occurred. But
They were, really?
But they were rare. Today they're so common that, they're so common.
Because of anxiety, right?
Yeah.
Anxiety and style of living and everything.
Yeah.
It's amazing. 150 years ago, people didn't really, wow.
One of the conveniences, 150 years ago, if you had to go 3 miles away, you'd walk. Today, who walks 3 miles?
Right.
Cinnamon rolls.
Yeah. Shayadeze meira nekuda lalev. Shayadeze nistake nakol. You can fix everything. See that? Everything can be fixed. Everything can be fixed. Shezeu kol avodas hatfila. That's the idea of the avodah of tefillah. Is what? To purify the heart from all of the embarrassment that the heart endures. Right? The heart endures the embarrassment because it was involved in so many nonsense, all the nonsense that the people are involved in, right? But the heart endures a lot of nonsense. But again, we said that the words that the Kohen gives us, it can help cover up over all of that nonsense so we could do tshuva and we could all turn back to Hashem. This is what Hashem wants. He wants us to do tshuva and to turn back to Him. And how do we do that? Through the avodah shebalev. What's that? The Shmona Esrei. That's why in the Shmona Esrei we say, Harod seb is tshuva. Hashem wants our tshuva. Slach lanu avinu ki chatanu. Mechal l'keinu ki fashanu. Right? I sinned, Hashem. I willfully sinned. I did spiteful things. I'm sorry. And then Hashem says, Hamar b'l'sleya. Right? Hashem wants to forgive us. That's how we can get tranquility in our lives. Just believe in tshuva. Let the words into the heart.
We end by pounding our heart.
Yeah. To remind the heart. Why are you pounding your heart? You don't have to really bang your heart that hard. It's just to remind. But on what side do you bang the heart on?
The left side.
And where's the Yetzer Hara? He's on the left side.
Yeah.
So you're giving him a little zetz. You see, I'm controlling you. That's so you have a new idea, right? You have an idea. You bang the Yetzer Hara. I'm controlling you. See that? I give you the zetz. You're not going to bang me. I'm going to give you the zetz 2 times. Right? Okay, so this is the lesson that we have. I hope everyone, does anyone have any questions on this or any other ideas or anything?
Just to remind, but there's 2 sides to the heart. So one side we're trying to get it into, and the other one we're trying to get it.
No, we want it to get onto both sides. We want the words to affect the Yetzer Hara also. We want those words to get in there, to let him understand. And he's going to fight you. Remember, we learned, he's going to fight you. The Yetzer Hara is
They're
going to
gonna
fight
fight
you. He's
you.
going to try to put all the thoughts in your mind.
rather
He's
than
going to put
your
all the
heart.
thoughts. So you should get mixed up, and you should stop saying the words, because then the words may affect, and he'll lose his control. All right, so that's the lesson in Mitzvah Hashem. We'll pick up tomorrow. Yud Beis. We'll do now a lesson in Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. Okay.
Yes.
Here we go. We're starting a new section in Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. Here, then this is now we're in Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. We're starting Hey. Nikion hamokaim l'davar shebekdusha. You have to cleanse the place that you're going to daven. When you're going to daven somewhere, it has to be clean, right? Where you can't daven in a place where there's foul odors. You can't daven in a place where there's excrement, urine, things like that. You have to clean the place before you daven. Look what it says now. He starts off with Aleph, okay? He brings a pasuk in the Devarim, v'chisa es tse'osecha. You have to cover up the excrement. Cover it up. Ki Hashem elokechem is halach b'kerev machanecha. Hashem travels and he goes through our camp. Hashem goes, he's in the world. Hashem is in the world. He goes amongst us, right? Mechin machanecha v'goyma mikan lomdu Rabbi Seinu Zal. So Chazal learned from this that what shebechol mokem asher Hashem elokechem is halach imanu. That wherever we go, Hashem is traveling with us. Hainu kishonu oiskim b'dvar shebekdusha ki goyin kriyashma. If we're going to do something, we're just learning about kriyashma. Isn't that nice? Yeah. Okay. That if we're going to do something of kedusha, for example, say kriyashma, tefillah, Shmon Esrei, avodah shebalei, right? It's amazing. Torah, learning Torah, the words of Torah. Huh? Okay, v'chadoma, and anything like that. You're going to do anything at Dvar. You're going to talk to your friend about a nice thing of Dvar Torah. Something you're going to say. Yeah, it has to be in a clean place. You can't say it you can't be in the bathhouse. You can't even say it in the mikveh. The mikveh is a bathhouse, right? You can't tell over at Dvar. Hey, I want to tell you about. You don't do that. It's not clean. It's not a clean place. Go wash your hands. Go outside, and then get dressed. Wash your hands. Go outside and then tell them about Torah, no problem. The our camp has to be holy. So we have to keep everything clean and holy, right? So we shouldn't, right? We just learned this morning, right? Don't bring nonsense into your house, right? You shouldn't bring abominations and things like that into our. We have to have holiness. Okay, you can't have the excrement revealed in that place. Here's an important lesson here. This is very important. You shouldn't see an erva kineged panav in front of your face. Here's a problem. We can discuss this for a moment. Okay, what does this mean? If you have somebody, let's say this is a practical halacha. Let's say you have someone, you have guests over at your house, and you're going to make kiddush. Right? Friday night, Shabbos lunch, whatever it is, you have guests come over, and sometimes they don't come dressed the way they're supposed to, right? The ladies don't necessarily cover their hair, right? We're talking about married ladies, right? Or they're not wearing exactly the right sleeves, or their dress is a little bit more revealing than it should be, right? These problems, right? Huh? So now the problem is, you can't be looking at that person. When you say kiddush, you have to turn away, right?
Close your eyes.
What?
Close your eyes.
Close your eyes, or don't look at look in your bencher. Look in the bencher. Don't look at it, because this comes from this halacha that we're learning over here. The Chazal consider that as tzoa, as excrement. It's in the same chapter. It's in the same sif. It's unbelievable, right? This idea. So it's an important thing to realize how HaKadosh Baruch Hu is b'chol makom asher Hashem elokechem es halach imanu, that Hashem is always with us wherever we go, and we should realize that. The problem is that people don't realize that. I believe that's what it is. People don't realize it. And the people, Hashem, what does He really care if I wear this or I really wear that? Yes, it makes a difference. Yeah, these are the rules. We're supposed to follow the rules, and if you don't, you can't daven or do something of kedusha in front of someone that's not dressed properly. Is that amazing, right?
Well, it's going to be hard at Chabad houses around the world.
No, nobody. So you just
You go
look.
to Thailand, the Friday night meal there is all backpackers. They're all,
Mm-hmm.
they're all wearing.
Oh, you went to Thailand?
Oh yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
So is this
Or
where?
other places, or other,
Okay, but okay, so you don't stand. You don't again when you benching, right? Let's say you're saying Birchat Hamazon, right? So you shouldn't bench in front of that person, or if you are, you just look in the book. Your eyes shouldn't see it. You can't do anything about that. You're there, right? You're there. So what are you supposed to do? Just don't pay attention to what's going on. Look the other way. Look the other way. Now again, if you can tell during the meal, let's say you see somebody there and you could tell them over something nice and give them a little chizuk and something, that's fine. But when you're going to turn to say words to Hashem, right? Where you're gonna again Birchat Hamazon, Kiddush, right? But you're gonna do it, then you can't look at that because that's a Dvar Kedusha, and you can't do that with the other person. Okay, so that's the halacha that we learned.
Is this where the mechitza came from? From here,
What?
the mechitza.
Mechitza came that
davening?
because we don't have men and women davening together.
But isn't that part?
Whether the women are dressed very modestly, we still have to have a mechitza in order to daven.
No, I understand, but that's what I'm saying. The mechitza is a barrier for us
Yeah.
being around
Yeah.
these other things.
Yeah.
So there was a rabbinate, a female rabbi, that was talking with a couple.
Uh-huh.
And the couple, I don't understand why we can't sit together. She said, she won't distract me, whatever. And she says, how unfortunate.
How unfortunate, huh?
Yeah.
I read something once, this fellow was, years and years ago, he said, it was from the Young Israel movement, they said, what's wrong with, sitting next to my wife? And, look, we're more beautiful, we're davening together. And, he said, it's not a problem, really. The problem is, you're sitting next to my wife.
Okay, everyone, we should have a wonderful day, and we should hear Besorah Tovot. And thank you very much, everyone, for joining, and be well.